here, this random life with Mom Melissa here at Bijou Blue. Bijou Blue
Spiritual
Shop. This place is amazing. It smells amazing.
shop.
Tell me, how did you get started with all this? Were you
Oh,
always
okay,
kind of born into
yes.
this?
Oh, well, I started with Shanti Healing Waters, my spiritual business where I was just virtual.
Okay.
So about 3 years ago, and I did sell items online. So what you'll find is when I say items is like spiritual things or like knickknacks and gifts to bring in some mindfulness and enjoyment and some self-care. And so I was shipping orders and also meeting people virtually on Zoom to do different readings and Akashic Records readings, mediumship sessions. Yeah, and so I've seen the impact that it's made with clients and things like that. And then I ended up moving to this area, and the space is very awesome. And I was like, what about bringing some of the stuff physically here?
Yeah.
So now I can start seeing clients in person again, especially after COVID.
Yeah.
And everybody being home and things like that. So now it's nice to actually be part of the community again and get people in.
Yeah. Where were you from beforehand, before you moved here?
Oh, okay. So I'm originally from Boston,
Okay.
but I have family in Florida. So I've been living in Florida off and on for many years. I would say about good 5-6 years now.
Okay.
And so yeah, so I'm a
Cool.
Florida girl now.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Florida girl.
Yeah.
So you've been doing spiritual healing for how long?
So my business is 3 years, but honestly, I got really serious about my spiritual practice about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Which is very funny because I grew up complete opposite of what I'm doing.
Okay.
You know, so I grew up in a very strict Caribbean religious household. I mean,
Okay.
like women are not allowed to wear pants strict.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so church 7 days a week, singing in a church, playing instruments. So I've always had gifts. You know, I believe all of us have
Yeah.
some variations of our gifts of psychic abilities.
Of course.
And as children, we're very open, and so I used to always see stuff and scare me, but my grandmother would say, pray it away, or, you know, you have God to believe in, and things like that. But then, of course, with the religion, you get that fear embedded into you, the dogma.
Yeah.
You know, and also being a woman, being seen and not heard, and even the way that you dress and carry yourself. And I just always felt conflicted of like, if God says that, you know, you're this energy that loves me regardless, why are there all these rules and guardrails of how I'm accepted and why am I judged?
Yep, exactly.
And so I was always conflicted as I got older, especially as a teenager, you become wiser. You're like, this doesn't make sense anymore. And
just
I had
because
to
it
leave.
isn't a good answer anymore.
Yeah, it's not a good answer. And then when I ask questions, why are you mad?
Yeah,
That's the first part where you know that there's something that's not stable there. And so I left, and it made me scared of anything about God. So I actually turned my back away from the spiritual side of it, the religious side. I was just trying to find what made sense.
Yeah.
And then the dreams kept coming, all the inclinations of the gifts kept coming. The intuition was like, you know things, you see things, you've been like this since as a kid. So instead of running away from it because you don't understand it, now get on the journey of understanding why.
Yeah.
And so 5 years ago, I was like, let's understand, why is this happening to me? Why do I know when somebody's about to die?
Yeah.
You know, scary stuff. Why do I see things
like
people
that.
don't see? You know? And then I was like, well, let's start with meditation. Yeah. What's meditation? What's mindfulness? And that is the foundation, honestly. And so when I did trial and error of trying different things and some things resonating or not, I always looked for mentors.
Okay.
So whether it's Meetup, whether it's somebody that says they have some knowledge, I was like, let's try meditation first, and then let's get into tarot, and then like what's Reiki. And so it was like a gradual step of being open-minded. Yeah. Finally, instead of being scared, I went into a place of understanding, like, there's a reason why I was born this way. What am I supposed to do with it? And what does it mean?
Exactly.
And so now I get to use my gifts to help other people get the confirmation and guidance that they need on their life's journey, but also to inspire, to let them know that tap into them. They're there for a reason. Walk into your divine soul purpose, because you are unique and there's a reason why. And you can use this to better your life and help other people see how they can better theirs. Because I believe we're all healers. I'm not here to heal you. I'm here to guide you to learn how you can heal yourself.
Yeah.
You know, we're on this journey together. And so that's kind of how it bubbled up, and now it's like I'm growing.
That's really awesome, your mindset of the way that you see everything. Because I kind of have the same kind of mindset that crazy idea.
Yeah.
So let's say that like Jesus already came and took people.
Yeah.
And isn't coming back.
Yeah.
You know, so let's just pretend like that might be the situation, and we are all here struggling next to each other. We are all capable of being better to one another to make
Yes.
this earth a better and safer place.
Absolutely.
There's traumas that we go through our lives that most of us never even realize are there. The things that are affecting our energies and the way we approach other people and how we handle
Everything.
situations. Yeah. So working with that, do you help people guide them through these kind of situations,
If
this
they
kind
want
of
to help
trauma?
themselves.
Well, okay,
Yes.
yes, they have to do that first. You
Yes.
can't just be like,
If they're
hey,
open to it,
yeah,
yes.
awesome,
Yes,
that's
I
beautiful.
do. I do. And that's why I believe that it's really helping guide you to know who you are
Mm-hmm.
and being more self-aware, so then that way you can be a better person and navigate through life better. Because the
Yes,
thing is, like, we all know that earth, like, to me, they said in the church, there's a place in hell. Sometimes I feel like here is hell,
that's
honestly.
what. Okay,
You
yep,
know, so
that's
life is
what I say.
painful,
Yep.
right? And so no matter how spiritual or religious or good you say you are, we're all going to go through pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if that is a guarantee, right? What other options do I have so I can navigate the pain better?
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Yes.
And I don't like when people might say that spirituality like fixes everything. I can manifest everything. Yes, you can manifest things that are in alignment, and it's like a thing,
Yeah.
So it's like, in the meantime, before I can manifest that thing, how do I deal with my pain?
Yep.
How do I be better to navigate the anxiety and navigate the unknown and navigate all the imposter syndrome? How do I like keep showing up for myself?
Mm-hmm.
And so if I have spiritual tools, which might be meditation, and there are so many different kinds of meditation. That's the thing. So when you work with me in my spiritual coaching program, yeah, you can do all the YouTube searches like I did. You can do the Google thing. And then I cut all of that out and went to mentors, because I was like, what is the quickest way for me to talk to someone? Oh, I love to be educated and learn, and I like to do the same. So let me learn from someone that I can vibe with and put those things into place. And when I did, it made sense.
Yeah.
So I do the same thing now, and I help people with specific guidance, of course, through spirit, because like we can do a reading here and then be like, well, this type of meditation probably wouldn't resonate with him, but this one might do what it's looking for, to feel grounded and protected and sure. So all meditation does is bring you back to center, to be like, hey, foot on the ground, you're on earth, be here.
Yeah.
I know you want to fly in your anxiety and you want to escape and you don't want to, but be here and deal, and know that you have the strength to deal with it.
Yes.
Whatever that, that emotion is. And so through the spiritual coaching program that I just launched is like helping that foundation of the different meditations. Then we build upon that of knowing, who are you?
Yeah.
Sacred self-discovery. Who was I in the past life? So we open your records, Akashic records. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but Akashic is said to be a spiritual library, right? So think of, there's another dimension,
Of course.
and then there's a library there with all your past, current, and future lives, and this holds information that can give you insight of like, who was I and why I have some fears and why there's some unexplainable things. Am I repeating a pattern? Like, you kind of understand who you were, and it helps you to now understand who you are now, because all those are little bits and fragments of you now. So then you're like, oh, that's why I like this so much, or that's why I have a phobia of this unexplained thing. Or that's why I keep getting into relationships with partners that may exude the same characteristics, because I had a karmic tie with this type of energy.
Whoa. Which could
And I
also be your
didn't end the
friends.
contract. Yeah, friends, romantic, family.
Whoa.
I didn't end up. I didn't learn the lesson.
And you're
So I'm
circling again.
repeating it back again. And then now when you become self-aware, because all of us are becoming self-aware. So I love being alive in this moment now, because I get to witness how a lot of us are turning more spiritual and more mindful and more kind, even outside of everything else that's going on. At least I see it more in people. So now that we're becoming more aware and we're embracing therapy and we're embracing more communication, we're embracing more awareness, now we can be like, okay, that was the past. Now, how can I heal the present so I don't keep doing this and I don't have to again be in a cycle of my life with regrets, or not having that true love that I always said I wanted, or not, fulfilling certain things because you get in your own way. Because of the traumas. Nobody told us. Nobody gave us a blueprint of how to live. Nobody really explained how to deal with certain things. So now we're just doing our best. So then when we realize, okay, I can do better now that I'm open to it, I can take that information and then recognize the patterns now and make better empowered decisions, right? So that's one way to do it. So with sacred self-discovery, and of course with readings and stuff like that, because of my gifts and I lean into it, things, ancestors can pop up. I'm a psychic medium, so a lot of times when I open your records, your guides are like right here telling me stuff, or I see past ancestors showing up and giving messages and confirmation and love. Is such a very loving, deep experience, and
Yeah.
that's why I love it.
Do you wow. Do you ever do you so I like I believe that's magic is just science unexplained,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
So, like do you our DNA carries what I think is 14 traits from our family, which is 7 and 7, right? Do you know anything about this?
I've heard.
Okay,
Yes, yes.
which then also leads me to believe because like I am an addict.
Mm.
I haven't used for since August of last year.
Good for you.
Thank
Congrats.
you, thank you. And NA actually taught me a lot about these traumas and these issues and these things that I
Mm.
constantly kept going and circling. And why am I dating the same person, or why
Why
am
am I
I,
doing
yeah,
this?
why am I doing this? And then and you're right.
Yeah,
There was
there's.
something there that I did not learn before, and
Yes.
ever since I have learned these lessons, I've learned to understand my life better, handle my life better, and do
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So it's really interesting because growing up, I also was forced into private school,
Mm.
Bible thumpers. There was no such
Yes.
thing as evolution. There was only God, and that's
Yes.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there could be some other things involved, but,
Right.
I do believe in a higher power.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not name it yet because,
Yes.
he hasn't told me his name,
Right.
or it, or she, or they, or
Who knows?
whatever.
Yeah.
Hasn't.
Right.
But I do think that the spiritual guidance and spiritual healing and understanding of the human body that your spirit
Mm.
is inside is very important for the future of humanity, mankind, everything. And
Absolutely.
I do see this new birth of love and kindness and understanding through a lot of people. I mean, there's not everybody,
Of course.
but I do see that, myself included, I have changed so much, and I see other people changing. And I'm like, oh
Wow.
wow, I can see that person change. I can see that
Yeah.
person change.
Yeah.
That person's not a drinker anymore. That person's
That's
not a, and
amazing.
it's so beautiful. So when you're doing the spiritual guidance and feeling this, you have a lot of emotional moments with these people, right?
Yes. Yes. It's
Right.
a very vulnerable.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to be because you
Mm-hmm.
can't just put up that wall before you
I
have that
can't.
conversation.
I can't, and it's a delicate balance because I'm working with these women that are now taking the second level of my program, and they asked, and we had a group coaching, and that came up. They're like, so like, what's your process during readings? Like, how are you able to like separate, right? Because I'm human still. No
Yeah.
matter how spiritual anybody can be, we have flaws. We have human. I have bias.
Ow.
Yeah, I have bias. I have prejudice. I have judgments.
Yeah,
And I have faulty things.
of course, we all do.
But in a reading and guidance, what spirit acts as in how my gift works is that I have to literally take a step back. I feel myself being pushed back and the channeling happens.
Wow.
So when I have a reading with someone and when the ladies ask me like what's your process and I gave them an example, I was like, okay, I have to balance the human judgment and then like the messages that I'm getting, that I'm supposed to take all these images and things that I see and explain to someone here and they get it, because thankfully, because sometimes my human self is like, what are you talking about? Every
Makes
reading.
no sense to you sometimes.
And then I look at the person, I was like, does it resonate? And they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, ooh, thank God. Like, because I'm like, it's such a magical thing to where
Yeah.
it's like I'm being pushed. So sometimes the human want to take over, right? Somebody can
Mhm.
say something and like, as a human, everybody be like, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's not something that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But does that person, they're not asking for my human judgment.
Yeah.
They came and asked for spirit guidance.
Yeah.
And spirit, I don't care what anybody says, whatever you want to call the energy,
Mhm.
talks to you in loving ways.
Yeah.
So if you have any experience and you said God talked to me and I got cussed out or I got like demeaned or I got called names, that wasn't God.
Yeah.
So if spirit is talking through me, all light is love.
Mhm.
So that's why every reading is like, man, like maybe I didn't hear what I wanted to hear, but like it was so positive though still.
Yeah.
It was still like I still felt good.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you know why? Because it's from spirit. It's from a source that is filled with love, that created us and this universe and everything. And as you can see in all of our trials and tribulations, love conquers all.
Yes.
It is the
Oh my goodness,
greatest
yes,
vibration. It is the highest vibration. Where loves exist, hate starts to dissipate.
Mm-hmm.
Love is light.
Yep.
It pushes out darkness. So if I am a channeler and I have this gift, the spirit self have to communicate, no matter what my judgment human self may want to say or may want to react. And so I'm like, and this is how I know the difference.
Yeah.
That it's not me speaking.
That's
right?
Awesome.
It's just an energy channeler. And that's the same thing with Reiki.
What is that?
Reiki is just literally channeling light energy. That
Okay.
energy that I'm talking about. Some people like to call it the life force. Some people, in Asian culture, they might call it the chi, that energy that you have in you.
Okay.
So like a trick is like when you rub your hands together and you feel your hands heating up. That's your chi. That's that energy that you're like warming up, right? So I do this before all of my clients.
Okay.
And what I do with Reiki is that it's like a energetic spa that I like to call it, because you're still on a massage table, your eyes are closed, they might have different crystals on you or around you to amplify that energy in your energy center, your chakra system, which is just the 7 main ones. There's way more. But what my purpose is to channel that light energy through my hands, right? And feel it and move. And I don't even have to touch you. Hover over your centers. And it's like it's gonna sound weird, but I'm literally almost in a trance.
Okay. So it makes sense.
So I'm standing there and like my eyes is closed and all I'm seeing is messages for you. Spirit guides might come up. You might feel sensations in different part of your body. I feel everything sometimes, mostly that you feel, because we're connected. We're connected through this light force. So like I'm just helping balance and clear away your chakras. But because I'm near such your aura body and because I have that gift and I'm connected, I'm getting messages as well. So my Reiki sessions are not just opening and balancing to make you feel more grounded and more relaxed and lighter. Everybody has different experience. They're like, I was so relaxed, I fell asleep, I took a nap. Or some people are like, I'm mad energized. I slept really well that night. Or I felt settled. Like everybody has an experience. So you go open-minded. But it's so beautiful because at the end of my sessions, we do a debrief. I'm not just a regular Reiki master. I come with psychic abilities and mediumship and other stuff. So it's like, okay, let's do what you felt, what you saw. Okay, I was like, okay, great. So this is what they told me to tell you. This is the guidance. This is the things that you felt. This is where you might need to work. This is I can even sometimes feel pain where you are and give you light energy there to help, help that energy blocker there. Because sometimes a lot of our pain is a symptom of an energy that is blocked or holding on to something.
Yeah.
Especially like back pain and hip pain and different stuff. Yes, sometimes it's the physical things, but sometimes a lot of it is energy.
Yeah.
And so Reiki there are people that have said they've felt better in their knees or their hips or their back from experiencing that, because what it does is that it clears away any blockages in your center. So then that way you could just navigate through life better and feel better.
That's crazy. That's interesting. Now, after doing any of these events or helping people, how do you feel energetic wise?
Honestly,
do you feel drained? Do you feel
rarely I felt drained. Honestly, because I am channeling that light energy, I usually feel very energetic after Reiki because I'm giving myself also a light bath.
Wash, yeah.
Literally through my body. And after my session, I do like a energetic cord tie because I don't want to be still connected to yours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I still in the middle have to do it. If you have an emotional thing, like it's happened with me with a woman where her thoughts were like this and I almost passed out because I was by her head. I literally didn't touch her. I just had my hands by her ear and literally I was going like this. I was like, whoa, what's happening? And it was me just training. And the teacher was like, are you okay? I'm like, she's like, what did you see? I'm like, I saw this tornado. And I started going like this. And she's like, what does it mean? And I'm like, her thoughts. And something said, thoughts on fire, thoughts going too much. She needs to calm down. And that's what I had to tell her. And I was like, can you sleep at night? And she's like, no. And I'm like, I can see why.
Yeah,
so that's an example of like the interference came through, but I was young. So now what I do now is that if I feel like there's an energy interference where it starts affecting me, I have to do my visualization of like shielding and, and the different things I say and the way that I protect my energy to create that boundary. But majority of the time, I just feel alive.
Can I talk to you like I'm a 5-year-old?
Yes. Let me try to break it down like a 5. Okay.
So okay. Of course, like you said, when you're a kid, you always have these feelings of like powers and stuff. You go outside and you like push, and then the wind blows, and you're like, yeah, I did that. But there's like other times where I
Yeah.
do also feel like for my kids, for example, like they'll have a stomach ache or do something, and I feel like I can put my hands on their bodies and start feeling where
Mm.
like the pain is. That's where I start to rub it, and before you know it, they're asleep. There's no issues. There's
Yeah.
nothing going on.
Mm.
Is that Are more people like that capable of
Yes.
feeling things?
We dismiss it though. Like majority of us feel things throughout our day. But we were taught society and it was like, you're crazy. Neglect that. That's not gonna work. Like that's how I was
Yeah.
raised too. Like if I touch like when I used to touch people and used to feel things, immediately be like, it's not of God, stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever you feel is the devil. So like you display like you like push it and dismiss it. So all of us have gifts, just in different variations of the scale. And it's always possible to enhance your gifts. We're superhumans. Like
Mm-hmm.
I believe that
Yeah.
we can be
We
superheroes and
can.
we are born with superpowers.
Yes.
We just haven't trained them,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
remember because we're just a soul in this human suit now.
Yep.
We've been here multiple times. We know.
Yeah.
So it's just remembering it, right? And so when you feel that thing, what was happening most likely when your child felt that, there was a discomfort there, but it could have been an energy thing, like I just explained, a blockage. It could have been an emotional thing. Maybe they had something during the day that upset them. And a lot of us feel things in our gut. And then it was never resolved, right? And so we push it down. And then later on at night, it might come bubble up. You're like, why is my, and it's like, I didn't eat anything. What's going on? That could have been an emotional thing that they were holding on to. But because of your touch and your comfort of knowing where it is, it could have dissipated too, as well too. So a lot of in that just showed you how love
Yeah.
kind of like
Love always does kind of fix things. I agree.
it's a
Matrix,
powerful energy. Yes.
the last Matrix was about love. Rewatch
Yes,
that movie, and
it
it's
is.
about love.
It is about
It's one
love.
of my favorite
Me
Matrix
too.
versions. Everyone talks so much trash about it. They're like,
I
"Oh."
love all of the
Yeah, me
Matrix
too.
movies too.
The
But
last
yeah, the
one,
last one
the
was
last one,
amazing.
I was like, oh, this movie's not about Neo. It's
Mm-mm.
about Trinity
Yes.
and Neo and their love.
That's exactly what it's.
I would try anything at least
That's
once.
awesome.
Trust me, I've tried everything at least once. That's also not a good thing.
Right.
All right, so let's talk about what you got here because you got some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I do know the candles. Each candle means it can help you with something different, correct?
Yes. So the colors, so everything has energy and vibration. So the different color candles, you will see most people that may use different color candles for different intentions.
Okay.
If you want to use it for that. So like for instance, blue might be used for communication and peace.
Okay.
So I'd be like, I want to burn a blue candle, and you might put Reiki in it, infuse it, or you might dress it, meaning that you put it in herbs that vibrate on that.
Okay.
And burn it down. And so like people that like to do that candle magic might want to use that for that. And so I have different size candles for those intentions, or just you want to burn a candle too. Doesn't have to be deep.
Of course, it doesn't have to be that deep. So like I know what most of your stuff is, like the incense and stuff, but really like these spiritual colognes.
Yes,
mind
they're
if I grab
very
one?
interesting. Yeah, grab one and grab the Florida water one too. That's a staple in spiritual. This is a very staple, witchy ones out there in a lot of different cultures will use this as a cleansing cologne. So meaning that they will cleanse their spiritual tools or their altars or even their bodies. I have a habit, if I don't have my own elixir that I've made to clear something, I will put it like rub my hand, put it on my third eye, maybe spray some on my deck or anything like that. So the history with that is that it's actually from France back in maybe the 18th century. They used that, but my family's from Haiti.
Okay.
So in Haiti, we have a lot of French influence, right?
Yeah.
They, a lot of stuff like that. So after they left, we got liberations and stuff. We still had our own religion, our own culture, our own spiritual, system.
Yeah.
But we had to take the Catholic faces of the saints as a way to be like, yeah, I'm talking to Mary, as a way to be like, I'm talking to my spirits and my lineage, right? And so, but we adopted some of the things in the French that that vibrated on that level. So the traditional way that Florida is made is with different herbs and stuff, and a lot of those herbs are for cleaning, purifying energy. Okay. And so this is manufactured, of course, but the significance and the intention of it is to cleanse. So you will see in a lot of rituals and different like cultures, you may see Florida water being used to like wipe down an altar before it's placed to, honor that ancestor or honor that energy or deity and things like that. And so flowing water
Interesting.
is a staple, in a lot of different spiritual systems.
That's cool. That's actually the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I'm glad you'll see in a lot of botanicas, a lot of like spiritual shops, like
Oh yeah.
Hispanic.
Oh yeah. I've seen a lot of different
Yeah.
ones, and I mean, it always has drawn me beforehand.
Yeah,
so I
so
mean,
you
it's not
already
going to
knew.
draw me in a second.
Yeah.
And I'll see you on the side of the road. I'm like, oh, never seen that before.
Right, and you see it. Yeah, yeah, you feel that.
So when you're taking the bath and stuff, it would be good to like
bath.
have like a candle and a bath and some incense.
Set up the ambiance. It's a ritual.
Yeah.
Same way everything that we do is ritualistic, from the showers, our bedtime routine. What rituals does is gets you in the mindset. Okay. So that's what spirituality is. So when we say things have an intention or there's an energy around it, because there's research and there's some of the science with it, right? Because everything was made for a purpose. But then you layer on my intention for using this. So when I take a bath and I want to make it spiritual, all I'm doing really is that I'm still lighting the candle. I would like a relaxing bath, so I make ones with herbs and Epsom salts because I want to get both benefits here.
Yeah.
I do my visualization of calling that intention in. So if I make a bath for abundance, right? Just want to feel good luck come to me and just want to do reset. I might do it on a Thursday because it's Jupiter day and Jupiter's ruled my money, right? And so I'm just lighting my candle. I might have some incense burning to the scent brings me to that vibration of just relaxation. So for me to be open. Yeah. Let the universe work on my part. We get in the way of the universe all the time.
Yes.
So what sometimes certain rituals does is like, sit down. Relax.
Get out of the way.
It's peaceful. And then it's like, okay, she calmed down. Now we can do what we were going to do, So it's kind of like helping you get in that state of mind to just let things come to you and manifest in divine timing while you just also take care of yourself, because that is powerful. Self-care.
Yeah, self-care is very important. If without it, like sleep or eating or doing anything like that, you're not going to be able to be your best on the very next day.
Exactly.
Now, a lot of people, I know a lot of younger people, like to look at all of this and think that, I can just hold a crystal and say some words and do stuff, and everything's going to get taken care of.
I've heard that.
Now, do you think that movements also have to be taken while doing stuff like this?
Yes. Manifestation won't work without work, right?
I believe it.
Okay. So that's the first one, the work in place. And then it's like, is it the right work? That's the other thing too. It's like, we think the way to achieve a certain thing is to work this way. And it's like, that's not exactly how you work it to get it. It's for you, but the way that you're doing it is like making you suffer more.
Yeah.
So, right. And then the other items helps you just bring you in that state of mind, the vibration of that. So yes, they are powerful for sure. There are things that are connected, science and energy, and things that are tied to different energies and celestial beings and angels. I mean, we could have a whole another podcast,
a whole other one on that.
Seen some things, but the thing is, yes, they're all real and they're all powerful, but then there has to be an alignment, and then your energy has to be open to it, and you have to be doing the right work. So it's like not as easy as people like to make it seem on Instagram and stuff. Well, I burned a bay leaf and I'm manifesting a rich life. That's not how that works.
Now I have a Lambo.
Right. Even working with magical beings, right? People that are deep into it, right? Everything they do, they have assistance from the magical side.
Yeah.
Their spirits will even tell them, not now.
Yeah.
There are times where I've wanted something, they were like, it's coming, but you got to wait 2 years.
Yeah.
So what do you do in those 2 years, right? Right? Yeah. Stress about it, or I can take care of myself to be ready for it. Because then the thing too is like the opportunities for you, but then you're not even ready to receive it.
Exactly.
Because you've been not doing the work to prepare yourself for it. It's the same thing for anything extreme with a marathon. I can't today go to be like, I'm going to run a marathon. I haven't trained.
Yeah, you're not ready for the run.
I'm not ready. So if you want and the thing is like the bigger your dreams are, the bigger expansion you want, the more work you have to do, the more time it's going to take, and the more alignment. So it's kind of like, there's multiple steps and multiple stages, and there's other characters in your life that have to be in place to help you get there.
Yes.
The job, the family, the right relationship, the partnership, this and that. Maybe you had to move. And sometimes we get in our own way because we want to stay in our own life, but we want a new one.
Yeah.
Spirit's like, how can you have a new life
and still live the old one?
So it's a lot of factors. And so I like to tell people I'm a realist, spiritualist. Like I will tell you, yes, I believe in it. I see stuff. I'm one of those people, it's like I'm analytical, but also spiritual. So it's like I go back and forth. I'm like, logically, This is how you do it. Yes, there's magic and there are miracles. I mean, it happens
Mm,
every day. We wake up every day. I can breathe and talk to you at the same. I think that's a
yeah.
miracle. There's a lot of miracles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chances. There's a lot of luck that happens.
Yes.
But if you really examine and strip away luck to what seems to us, it's a long time coming for that person, or you don't know what they went through, or you don't know their destiny and their
Yeah.
past life and the contract that they signed for this. Like, you just
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, you don't.
So we compare and we're like, why we're not here, why we're not there. None of us are the same. None of us have the same exact path. We have similarities, but it's like once we keep being honest with ourselves and stop comparing, we'll get to our whatever day is, whatever that is,
100%.
100%. But enjoy the now, though.
Yeah.
You got to be grateful for what you do have.
It's not
In the
about,
meantime.
it's not about the location. It's about the journey.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree to that, because there's a lot of things. The reason I love podcasting and talking to you and talking to anybody, it doesn't matter who it is because of the things that I've been through. It is because I did do a lot of bad things growing up, where I was selling stuff that I shouldn't have, or been doing things with people that I shouldn't have. But it's all taught me steps of understanding people who are more dangerous than me.
Yeah.
And how to talk to them. And then everybody else who's really easygoing, it's fun. It's simple. I enjoy what I do, but if I did not have that social butterfly lifestyle that I went through, I would have never been able to. I would have never been like, hey, let me put myself on camera, talk to a random person for an hour about what I don't know yet. I'll figure it out when I get there. It's not easy, but you have to go through these steps to get where you want to get.
Exactly.
And like I heard Stephanie say, that the past 6 months, you guys have been in this alignment that it's like
boom,
boom, boom, boom, boom.
And then we both talked before. Why didn't it work before? We had the same motivation and the same thing, but the way that the symmetry and the connection, and then the heightened, and what about this thing, and oh yeah, and this, and I can do it because now I have the support. So that's again alignment, right? So it's like you are a mate, and this is why I love community and I love partnerships, whether it's romantic or not, because if you're in a right connection, you can accelerate your life because you have that support. Because we know that I don't care what nobody says, you're like, F love, I want to be alone. That sounds amazing right now. And sometimes you need to be.
Sometimes you do.
Because you're messed up. You needed some work, right? And maybe that partner that's for you needs to do their own work. I understand that. But you can't be like that forever, because where I've seen people have excelled a lot in their life, even if whatever you want to call success, maybe it's not, you don't have to be an entrepreneur, whatever it is, it's always when they were end up with the right partner, even before marriage. It was like, this person inspired me to just get up and made me feel like I can do it. And Spirit's like, yes, we needed these characters in your life. Right? The supporting characters had to be in place too. And for you to recognize that you can, somebody else believes in you and has the same motivation, or just like that energy to carry you on, like to just do that for you. That's what you needed. And that's why the manifestation is so quick, because we met at the right time. We wanted the same things. Like there was alignment there. And so it's like you come.
The knowledge for it now.
The knowledge now. So it's like you bring your superpower, I bring my superpower. Of course it's going to accelerate and scale. And now we're just trying to keep up with it. Yeah. Because now it's on just like a train track, just going.
And that's a new set of challenges that you're going to be working
very
through.
Challenging.
And it's going to be even better at the end of it.
It is.
And once again, you can always step back and take your your baths with your candles and really recenter yourself. Because obviously, starting your own business or doing anything like this, if it's events, a business, teaching, police officer, whatever it is, you have days that some days you're like, I don't want to do it.
Yes.
I don't want to. If it's from the basic, I just don't want to get out of bed, or I don't want to wake up today. If it's one of those situations, you should always find a way to recenter yourself spiritually, emotionally. And here's the tools.
Here are the tools to help you, and then here are the tools to teach you too. How there's little miracles in the little things that you do too. And that's what I do with, the people through my program, is like, now we're working on esoteric practices, right? And that just means that taking all the little unknowns from the different like Wiccans and pagans and elements and stuff, and even your own cultural lineage, to create a path for you that brings you that peace, that brings you that empowerment, that brings you up to that vibration and be like, you know what? I am rich. It's just on the way.
Yep.
So what can I do to get myself in that mindset? Because everything is like that energy and the thought. So these products, these tools, these little rituals you do help you bring that. I forget about my problems
Mm-hmm.
when I'm like fixing a candle. I
Yeah.
don't care what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if I had a bad day. It's like all I focus on, and it manifests because all of my energy's into it and I believe it. So I
Yeah.
have faith in it
Yeah.
because I'm like, I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm doing. Let me pull out my witch book. Okay, what are the herbs for prosperity? What do I want this new job? That's a lot of the ways that I've manifested my stuff, whether it's through magical workings of me doing something
Mm-hmm.
or me just like visualization and then going getting the skill. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
just light the candle and sit at home.
Yeah.
I lit the candle and I submitted my resume. I
Yeah.
asked for feedback.
Yep.
So that is where the work
Yep.
and the other work aligns, the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual work
Exactly.
and then the life
Physical.
work,
Mm-hmm.
right? To bring what I need. And it was like, wow. And then some people are like, well, is it the physical work that you did or the magical work? To me, I'm like, who cares? That's number
Yeah.
one. But number two, whatever you believe is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, both can bring results.
Yeah.
But I feel like I accelerated my speed of certain stuff with the magical work layered on top of it.
Yeah.
That's just my personal
Agreed.
journey.
Yeah.
That's what helped me. You know, for me to go to 0 to 10 in 3-4 months of me being like despair and create a whole new life, I really feel the magical plus the
Hard
work for me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my own experiences, the dreams I've had, the insights that I've had,
Mm-hmm.
all the things, the assistance that I had. But that's not necessary every time too.
Yeah.
And that's why I love being this, because it's like I can be the witch or the magical practitioner when, and then the other side is like I'm still a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
I still like nice things, right?
Yeah.
I still want to experience life. I'm in this human suit. I might as well take care of it.
Enjoy
I
it.
still want to enjoy. I still want to travel. And not everything needs to be earthly and not everything needs to be magical. And I think when
Exactly.
you find the balance of both, I think that's when you can really be like, okay, I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you're not too lost in one, not too lost in the
Exactly.
other.
Moderation.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with drinking.
Yes. Exact same thing. Exact same thing. Yeah.
All right. And people can come here and contact
Yes.
you about, trying to get a reading or anything
Absolutely.
comfortably.
Yeah, they can do that. You can come here in Bellevue, or you can go to shantihealingwaters.com. I'm also Shanti Healing Waters on Facebook and Instagram, and then also too on TikTok as well too. And then I have my second website for my spiritual coaching called mambolissa.com. So on there will tell you what you expect in the program. And then you have to go through an interview process. We got to make sure we're a good fit for each other.
Of course.
Because I take it very seriously. And then you also have to feel comfortable, as the guide. I'm not, nobody is ever right for everybody, right?
Yeah.
In different stages. And so we go through that process, and then you have different options, whether you want one-on-one with me the whole time, or you want to do the group aspect. And I love the online community part, because a lot of us that are spiritual, we're isolated, right? We feel scared or confused and alone. Our family doesn't understand. We don't have anybody that can relate to us and be like, man, I saw a dude looking at me in the mirror and he's dead. You might not be able to tell your mom that. And she's just like, okay, honey, it might be a thing.
Yeah.
So you don't have anybody to relate with you. And so my process is building that online community. And I have a spiritual book club called Ascended Minds coming out in the fall, where we get to read metaphysical books, but discuss them, virtually. You can be safe, you can be at home, you can be anywhere in the world. You contribute, we learn together. And then I lead these, but the extra good thing about your membership is that every month I do a themed group candle service for people. So that means that I fix a candle on the theme of the month. So maybe we want to focus on money. I might make a candle service, take your name, light a candle for you on my altar to help open the doors of money for you and opportunities and things like that. And that is something that you just have a benefit of just being in the book club. Because I always like to, a lot of my services is like there's an extra cherry on top, because I'm an extra person. So
are we all? Aren't we all?
Want that little extra benefit. And I think that's and that helps me, because then I get to push like Reiki out to you long distance. I get to see how things have panned out for you, and then calling in positive energy for the collective is always a good thing. So if you grew up in the church, think of it as a group prayer. Prayer request line. You ask what you want. It's like that. So everything is connected. We just call it different. That's it. Yeah. And I really believe that. Yeah.
Awesome. So here we are. This is wonderful. I
Yes.
really had a wonderful time talking to
Me
you. I hope to
too.
talk to you some more
Me too.
because I can see myself getting lost in this. We could probably sit here for hours.
Oh yeah, there's so many things, so many
for
layers.
hours. So I'm definitely going to save it for next time.
Yes.
Because we're probably facing almost an hour.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna have some other stuff
Yes.
to talk about.
Yes.
So let's anything extra? Anything
No,
extra?
nothing extra. Just check me out. And remember, if you're having a very hard day and you feel despair, we've all been there. You're not alone. And yeah, you can call me and text me, but also too that know that you are loved beyond who's around you now. So
Yep.
you do have people that love you and that want to see you succeed. So book a call with me. Let's get into your guidance and let's see what's going on. And then I hope you guys just check me out and see you soon.
Definitely. Thank you
All right.
guys. Peace
Thank
out.
you.
Love.